going on, Jerome homies? It's a beautiful Thursday. It's time for another set of 5 Vikings questions. Thank you very much for people who submitted questions on our community tab when we call out for Q's. We've got a couple A's. First up, your mother. I know you're not the biggest fan of Russell Wilson, but there are Hall of Fame quarterbacks that have a few off years and come back and pop off. Could Russ be one of those? And if so, should the Vikings take a shot? Well, the thing about it is, Russ wasn't terrible last year. Now was he prime Russ from Seattle? No. But also, I think a lot of Russ's problems the last 2 years has been coaching, whether it be stupid ass Sean Payton, whether it be stupid ass Nathaniel Hackett. But can Russ still do it? Sure. But also, you saw from the Broncos game that the thing that was Russ's best part of his game, mobility, is decreasing, and also his deep ball accuracy as well as velocity. It's not quite there anymore, although it looked pretty good hitting Cortland Sutton. But with Russ, could he thrive here? Sure. The main thing that's appealing about him is his price tag, league minimum $1.21 million. But I mean, if Russ was an open market free agent and you'd have to pay him $30-35 million per year, this wouldn't even be a conversation. So it is interesting where with Russ divides a locker room, but it's not in the traditional sense that the guy's an a-hole. Russell Wilson is probably one of the nicest human beings on earth. Is he corny? Is he overly polished? Is he canned? Sure. So that's got to be rule number one, because Kwesi and Kevin O'Connell have done a very good job of creating a culture here with the Minnesota Vikings, and they have to protect it, even from like nice guys like Russell Wilson. So, hey, Russ, if you come aboard, number one, you're competing for the job, because number two, we're drafting a quarterback. Number three, if you do any of the weird Vikings country let's ride stuff, you're gone. That's it. It's finito. Because that's the great thing about a league minimum deal. If we cut you, it's not that big of a deal. Yeah. So, I don't know. Like, I guess I could be convinced. You see the upside there, but I'm not completely sold. Frankly, I'd rather go a different direction. Jay Jettas, Kirk is gone, and we need a quarterback. Who is your guy 1,000% locked in on that you think will help us win a dozen Robardies? Who is the guy? I love me some Jane Daniels. I see the upside of Michael Penix. Williams, I have my doubts. I'm out on Bo Nix. For me, my two crushes right now, like I like Jaden Daniels. I love J.J. McCarthy. I love Drake May. I understand what McCarthy, well, he wasn't asked to do a lot at Michigan, but the throws that he made, especially clutch on third down, like he's a big-time dude. He is a competitor, and he's got a big-time arm. He's got accuracy. He throws receivers open, and his best football is ahead of him. Also, these two, with McCarthy and May, as well as obviously Daniels, I mean, mobility is a plus, and that's something where you don't necessarily need a running quarterback per se, but a guy who can extend a play, especially on third down, and either pick up the sticks with his legs or buy time and find a dude downfield. I mean, that's just so soul-crushing for a defense, and because we've seen mobile quarterbacks do that to the Vikings for many years. And with Drake May, I know that people point out his inconsistency, him forcing things at times, him not performing as well in 2023 with a reduced supporting cast like he did in 2022. But I think that Drake May is the best parts of Josh Allen. I think that he's the best parts of Justin Herbert. And I think that if he falls out of the top three, I think the Vikings should certainly go get him. So my hierarchy, I almost throw Caleb Williams out because he's going to go one. My hierarchy would be Drake May, J.J. McCarthy, Jaden Daniels, Penix. That would be my big four right now. Number three, Cody Pierce, J.J. McCarthy, Dallas Turner, Terrion Arnold, Quinn and Mitchell were all available. Who are you picking? McCarthy. Yeah, because Kirko's probably leaving, so you need yourself a quarterback. And even if you have a bridge guy, I mean, McCarthy is McCarthy. Now, if it came down to, say, Dallas Turner, Terrion Arnold, Quinn and Mitchell, or Byron Murphy II, I think that's a lot closer, because I think Murphy's going to go a lot higher than people think. I think that Murphy, with that Geno Atkins type body and type disruption, I think he's going to be fantastic. But I would still take Turner one, because Talisman on the edge, he's young, super fantastic at the combine. He's a freak athlete, and I think that he's Von Miller in waiting. Now, if he would have if he would have another year in Tuscaloosa, I think that he probably would have been a top 5 pick, but I think he still will be the first edge rusher off the board. Terran Arnold and Quinton Mitchell, it's close. I would lean slightly Mitchell, but I am mad at Arnold at all, and I think that there's a good chance that Arnold could also be the top cornerback off the board. Next up, Michael Converse, what quarterback strikes you as a Kwesi guy? I think Jaden Daniels is one, given his reported interest in Anthony Richardson last year. So, I mean, Richardson is a different kettle of fish. Like, Richardson is a little bit more like Big Ben with some mobility. Like, Richardson was just a tank, man. But I do see the upside of Jaden Daniels, just like I see the upside with McCarthy and Drake May, and focusing on what a guy can do versus what he can't. And with Daniels, it's interesting because, you know, he did it on the biggest stage, in the largest spotlight, big bad SEC West. He did it with great weapons with BTJ and Malik Neighbors. Now, it's a chicken or the egg thing. Did Jaden Daniels make those two, or those two receivers make Jaden Daniels? Probably a little bit of both. I think everyone was just great together. It's like how Chase and Jefferson made Joe Burrow, and Burrow made Chase and Jefferson, sort of deal at LSU. But I do think that Jaden Daniels does check a lot of the boxes, especially the mobility. And I tried to find the quote directly, but Kwesi has mentioned, Kevin Connell's talked about how accuracy and anticipation is his number one thing that he looks for. But, you know, Kwesi talked about the accuracy and anticipation as well as mobility. And obviously, mobility is a big-time thing there. Now, Daniels, short to medium accuracy, does need to clean up his footwork a little bit, and there are parts of his game that need a little bit of sanding, and especially learning how to frickin' slide. I mean, there's so many plays where Jaden Daniels basically just takes a side quest and just like spaz. It's almost like you drop the controller at Madden, and then you're just guy just like pirouettes and then just dive straight forward into the line of scrimmage. It's weird, man. But yeah, I could see Daniels, I could see McCarthy, I could see Drake May, especially given Drake May's connection with Josh McCown. I think that, I mean, the Vikings are in a good spot, you know, finding their quarterback in the future. Lastly, Tony H., you've commented before about Spielman watching your videos. Do you know if any current players, execs watch your videos? Have any players, execs ever DM'd you? So we have been in contact with a couple. Now, I don't want to come off sounding like Flores, like, I've been doing this for 23 years and I got sources and stuff. Nah, but it's a couple in the current regime, but apparently there's a lot in like the latter Zimmer years, especially on that defensive side of the ball, where, I mean, they were intrigued. And it was kind of fun because when we speculate about things, you know, obviously we're not in the locker rooms, we're not in those social circles, but we would get confirmation that like one of our, you know, a couple of our takes were correct, you know, about, you know, locker room dynamics and stuff like that, things behind the scenes. So it's always kind of fun, right? But you know, I'm never going to be an insider, never going to be anyone who's like, hey, you know, I heard from an inside source, blah, blah, blah. But it's sort of a fun aspect of it. Now, if Kwesi can just listen to me and we can fix these trenches and get ourselves a quarterback of the future, we'll be good to go. But it's a work in progress. Trust the process. So there you go. Anyways, that's it. That is Q&A for this beautiful Thursday. You guys are the best. You know what to do. Skol, production value.